Alright guys, so in this video we're going to talk about some green flags, some red flags, what to look out for when you're hiring an employee while we wash this nice McLaren. We haven't seen it in a while, so it's a little dirty. We got to assess some of the damage that the dealer might have caused to it. But while we do that, we're going to be talking again about green flags, red flags, suggestions, some of the things I implemented when I hired my employee. You might be able to talk to him, see what his experience has been like, and yeah, stay tuned.
So Alan, what happened with the car at the dealership?
Yeah, well, we corrected and coated it like a month and a half ago, and he had it at the dealership because it was getting serviced. And they had to wash it obviously because it was dirty.
Yeah.
But they ruined my canvas.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm gonna call them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna call them. But yeah, we're gonna try to resuscitate the paint on this thing as best as we can. It's coated, so you know. Hopefully that's going to put up a nice barrier of protection, but we'll see.
So Alan, when it comes to hiring and training new people,
yeah,
what are your tips?
First one, be patient, because, well, most of the time, if you're hiring somebody, you've been doing it for years already, so you have a certain knowledge, and you can't expect somebody who's never done it before to learn in overnight. So have patience, have systems. Actually, that might be the first one over patience, but have systems for everything. How are we washing the vehicle? Who's in charge of what? How are you delegating tasks? So yeah, have systems for everything, because you need to run efficiently. That's the whole point of hiring somebody else. Yeah. You can hire somebody else, but if you're not running efficiently, you might even be slowing yourself down, because you have to pay your employee and you have to, you know, watch over them if you're not comfortable with how they're working, or if you feel like their skills aren't quite developed, yeah, which is your job as a business owner. So yeah, those are the two biggest ones.
So as far as like training,
yeah,
do you have like one day where you like practice on the job, or you just take them out on the field and they do it as it has?
So like with Josh, before I hired him, we met on Zoom before we actually met in person, and I basically gave him a brief rundown of everything. We went for like an hour, and I actually made some Google Docs that I sent to him that he could keep on his phone, how to clean wheels, just like a quick reminder for everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's like one of the important ones. And then as far as like the physical training, most of the training happens on the field, but it's usually meant for days when it's a little bit slower and you have time. Or I'd also think it's important for us to like schedule days where we're intentionally not scheduling that many people, because we want to be able to show him how to do certain things with plenty of time without having to rush. Yeah. So it's more effective.
Cool, cool. Hey Josh, so how long have you been helping out Alan?
I'd say about 4 or 5 months so far.
And were you always interested in detailing or no?
Yeah. Ever since I was in high school, I wanted to start my own business, but I was kind of scared to, so I never did. And as of recently, I really wanted to become a detailer and learn how to do it, so I found an opportunity for a job position. I took it, and now I'm here working for Alan at Platinum Auto. Yeah. And so far, it's been really fun. I love it. No issues with them so far.
And do you have any tips for anyone that wants to like help out a detailer or become a detailer?
Some tips would be, if you want to be a detailer, I'd recommend being passionate about it. And like, if you have your own car and if you want to wash it, you know, every once a week, and you take care of it, and if you want to come into this industry, you want to do the same thing as if you would do to your own car. Take care of it, make sure everything's clean, every nook and cranny is done. That's pretty much it.
About hiring employees right here. He's been with us. Ow! Imagine. All right, so PETA doesn't come after me. I'm just gonna put him on the
floor.
See? At PETA right there. I didn't.
We weren't suffocating.
Look, we didn't do nothing. Okay? Don't come after me.
Is that how you treat all your employees?
Yep, that's how we treat all our employees. Yeah, we provide a safe working environment for them, and we care about their safety. So yeah, there you go. Newest member right there.
Son, what are you wiping the car down with right now?
This is just Eco Shine from Shine Supply. It's just like a waterless wash. I'm just using it as like lubrication when I drive with this towel.
Yeah.
It's ceramic coated, so it dries off pretty much entirely with the blower. But I just use this super soft towel just to wipe off any dripping water or anything. But I don't like to wipe it with just the towel.
Yeah.
Just the Eco Shine.
Son, going back to like new hires and training and stuff, what are some like red flags that you kind of look out for when hiring new people?
Yeah, red flags. The biggest one is like long work history, and like obviously people with long work history can be it can be circumstantial, right? But if you've got like if you're 18 and you've got like 15 jobs already, like that, that's why do you have so many jobs? Like that means you come and go pretty often. So that's a big red flag. Another big red flag is just like analyzing the way they communicate with you. Like if they're using profanity, or if they're just like not really able to put sentences together. Not that they're dumb or anything, but just like they're not able to like communicate in a proper manner. They're not able to communicate with you like in a level which you can understand easily. And when they're just like all over the place, like that's a big red flag. Another big red flag too is like when they start to ask a lot about like the physical work itself, like, oh, how hard is it going to be outside, like how hard is the work going to be, like how much, blah blah blah. Like that's kind of a red flag for me, because it tells me that they might not be as like open to working in harsher conditions than other times.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what are some green flags that you look at when hiring new people?
Green flags, if their like prior work history is only, doesn't have to be like a short number of jobs, but if they were at each job for a decent amount of time, like maybe at least a year or something like that. Again, going back to the red flags, if somebody's been at 40 different jobs, it makes you think about why they've gone through so many jobs. But that's one good flag. Or one green flag is like if they were at a job for over like a certain amount of time, like a decent amount of time. Another good one is when they're applying, they send like the right information. Like for example, when I put up that I was hiring, I'd have some guys that would just say like, hey, I'm interested. And then I have other guys who are like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm interested in this position is because blah, blah, blah. Here's my work history. Here's my phone number, my email, my Instagram, whatever. You can tell the difference between somebody who's like really wants it and somebody who's just like, hey, like I want to work for you. Yeah. There's a difference, and it's pretty noticeable. So that's a green flag. Another green flag is when they're not really asking about pay. Not that like we're gonna be underpaying them or anything, but they're not asking about pay. They're not asking how hard is the work gonna be. They're not asking. They're just interested in joining you and being able to assist you in whatever way they can. It's pretty obvious to tell when somebody's like genuinely interested in it, for the skills that they can learn, the skills that we can provide for them to learn, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Cool. And can you give us a quick update on the maintenance, Lisa?
Yeah, so the update is, again, it was at the shop for like almost 2 months. They had to wash it. I don't know how they washed it. I'm imagining how they washed it. They put a bunch of swirls in it. It's got some water spots now. It's got a little damage here and there, which is definitely not how we left it. Yeah. Because we did a 2-step correction in a ceramic coating on this, so definitely not the way we left the car the last time we saw it. But it looks a lot better. Definitely got to come back and tidy up some other things. We unfortunately don't have the time to do all that right now, but we'll definitely come back, fix whatever needs to be fixed, address whatever needs to be addressed. But we're just about to wrap up and move on.
Cool. So Josh, do you have any tips for anyone that's looking into working for a detailer?
One tip would be that if you're interested in working for a detailer, if your boss or employer, be ready to have patience on both ends, because both of you are going to be bumping heads a lot with this is how you do this is how you do that, and obviously you don't want to bump heads, so your best bet is just have patience with one another, and hopefully you don't have any more issues in the future. And from there on, I mean, every time he sends you to go do something, that everything's perfect A1 and you're ready to go.
What about tips when you're getting trained? What would you recommend for others to kind of look out for?
Be ready to not have a lunch, you know. Other than that, just be ready to be working hard every day. You know, it's gonna be hot. Just be moving all the time. Try to wear a hat, bring lots of water, and just be ready to work. I mean, honestly, when I come here every day to work, it's more fun for me than it is tiring. So that's my #1 tip.
Really good. And what about when applying? Like, what do you recommend for people to do to stand out?
Just be honest in your application. Tell them what you know and what you don't know. You can be upfront and tell them, hey, if you just show me how to do it, I guarantee you that I could get it knocked down within the next couple of cars. What else? You know, maybe ask your employer, hey, can I have a chance to wash in the car, or can I, you know, try to wash it on my own, and you watch. Just try stuff like that. I mean, just be yourself when you come here, or when you're trying to apply, just be yourself. That's all I can recommend, honestly.
So,
That's a
Alan,
good shot right there. What's up? Sorry, my bad.
you trust Josh with exotic cars like this?
Yeah. I mean, again, that's why you delegate tasks. So I'm not gonna, you know, have him do a paint correction on the car because he doesn't know how to do paint correction yet. So you kind of have to understand like the limit of what your employee can do as they're learning. So on day one, I'm not gonna have him wash the entire car by himself because he wouldn't know how to do a good job. But yeah, I mean, trusting him with these cars, as long as he's doing what I've already taught him to do on every other car, it's the same concept. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more careful, but for the most part, he knows how to vacuum well, get under the seats. He knows how to clean wheels and tires. It's the same thing. I mean, it's not, you know, it's a vehicle at the end of the day. Obviously, you have to be careful with different finishes and different textures and whatnot, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing.
And how does one build trust with their employer?
Like from the employee's perspective?
Yeah.
My favorite thing is asking questions. That's my favorite thing because I don't expect, you know, my employee to know everything, but I do expect when he doesn't know to ask a question. I don't care if he asks 10 times, 20 times, 30 times.
Yeah.
I'd rather him ask a question and be able to learn than either not doing something, skipping it, or just doing it wrong, basically. Yeah. There you have it, guys. There are my tips for what to look out for, green flags and red flags when you're hiring an employee, how to train your employee, some good practices to have when you're hiring somebody new, and again, just what to look for when you're hiring somebody. Let me know what you guys do. What are some of your red flags, green flags? What are some of your suggestions? Let me know in the comments, but check us out on Instagram at @PlatinumModelDetail_, and we'll see you next time.